All right. I think I'm all set up this morning. It is in the AM. A very happy episode number 42. Am I out of sorts? Possibly. I may name this episode Domestic Shock, because I think that's what I'm suffering from. I truly do think that's what I may be suffering from, amongst other things, my dyslexia and all the other things I have. Karen's not here to correct me, so I am going to get away with it today, because I am dyslexic, I think. I might not be, but I feel that I am. But back to the topic at hand, I believe that I am in dyslexic, domestic shock. Welcome to the Pitboss podcast, brought to you by our very good friends at Molly's Place Sporting Goods, episode 42. If it's mymollys.com, MYMOLLYS.com. Fuel your adventure. If you do visit Molly's, you are a patron of Molly's Place Sporting Goods. Please mention that you heard me mention them. I would appreciate it. Karen would appreciate it, and I know Molly's would appreciate it. So, first and foremost, the Pitboss podcast, brought to you by our very good friends at Molly's Place Sporting Goods. Fuel your adventure. Up next is Crabs to Go. I don't have Karen here. Where I'm going to get onto that. Go onto it or into it. However it's going to happen, I'm going to get into it. She's not here, and I don't have my safety net. I don't have somebody to reel me back in. Usually, if you're watching on YouTube, usually I'm looking right here to my left. Engaging, it's good, but I don't have that today. Excuse me. I have many four-legged friends, which many of them are around me right now, but I don't have Karen to reel me back in. Crabs to Go this past week suffered. Man, I'm going to just take a deep breath. Hold it. I've had coffee. Now my diet due. I had my Dirty Duck coffee solo this morning. All right, I'm going to calm down. Karen, wow, I'm not going to say aloud. Karen suggested that for my birthday this past Saturday that we went back to revisit the breakfast of Still Stuttering, aren't I? She said, hey, I'm going to slow down again. She suggested that we go back and revisit our Breakfast of Champions. So we went to Crabs to Go, easily found on Routes 50 and Route 589. Air quotes Ocean City in Berlin. And, we enjoyed some of the finest single-fried oyster. And that is the breakfast. What we've deemed way back in the day, Breakfast of Champions. We used to do it every Sunday. So, I hear some geese. We have not done it in quite a while. So, Crabs to Go, thank you very much. Crabstogo.com. Again, they're easily found on Route 50 and Route 589 in Berlin. Up next, which I just put a big order in yesterday. Shh. Karen doesn't know about it. What she doesn't know won't hurt her. Gunner.com. I put a big order in. To us, it's a big order. We picked up 4 more large kennels. Still reconfiguring the T350. I did get, and right before she left, she helped me get it back in, but I did get the base painted, so it looks a little bit more finished with all 4 gunners sitting on top of it. But ordered some more gunners. We did the, I should know this better. I'm going to call it the door fan, the ventilation system, whatever you would like. How, you know what? I don't know that I'm going to be that quick to find it so I can say the official name. Anyway, if you get on gunner.com, leave a comment below, and you can tell me what it's called. But basically, we got 4 of the door fans coming. The USB charge, they run for 20 hours. And we're thinking that that's going to help us out, too. We need one more thing we need to finish insulating and skinning inside the T350, but we're going to go with a rear roof AC vent that's basically AC unit that is going to vent right over the 4 large gunners in the back. And the ones we're going to install, I don't have Karen here to help me. Install, yeah, I'm going to say install. Short term, we're going to need at least 2 more larges in there, so we're going to run with 6. Hence, forthwith, the reason I put another order together to gunner.com. Man's best kennel. But yeah, so I got some more crates coming. Kennels, excuse me. No offense. They are man's best kennel. So, although people refer to them as crates, though, too. So maybe that's just the old school name. Maybe I'm dating myself. Crates, kennels. I don't know. Anyway, it's Gunner Kennel. Gunner.com. Gunner Kennels. Guys, thank you very much. I'm excited and looking forward to getting everything installed. We've got a hunt test this Saturday. Sadly, Karen will not be with me. And then the following Saturday, just as she is returning, although she will not be here. She shouldn't be here yet. No, she won't be here yet. Actually, got a Saturday and a Sunday hunt test. So I don't know that I'll have everything. Right now, the T350 is good to go. But definitely get the door fans, the ventilation installed, and possible. I'm going to have to throw 2 more in there anyway, just because of all the 4-legged friends that we have these days. 4-legged friends? No, the 4-legged family that we have these days. I think I'm going to have to refer to one of them as a friend. Although he is our family, he's going to leave us. So he's going to be someone else's family member. So I guess they're all really our family members. Yeah. Sadly, we can't keep them all. All right. Gunner.com. Guys, thank you very much. Up next, Steve Hoover from New Philadelphia, Ohio. It's duckwaterboats.com. Punishing docks and rocks. The world's largest duck boat is sitting inside to my far, far left. And I got to tell you, right out of the end of January, right out of the season, I haven't done anything to it. There's still decoys sitting up in there. Had some, well, yeah, actually, I guess I talked to it with Nick last weekend. My memory. Anyway, had some friends stop by from Wisconsin to check out PBHQ and the world's largest duck boat. The world's largest duck boat. I will slow down. How many times have I said that? And I'm still talking fast. The world's largest duck boat. The world's largest duck boat. And yeah, I was kind of embarrassed. Like, hey man, it's exactly the way. When I backed her in January 31st in the afternoon, well, actually it was February 1st because we spent the night someplace else. When I backed her in, that's the way I left it, more or less. A lot of decoys did come out, but there's still a bunch in there. So anyway, yes. All right, I'm rambling. Steve Hoover, Duckwater Boats, duckwaterboats.com, punishing the docks and rocks. Steve, thank you very much. Up next is the Ultimate Outdoor Oven Duck Blind Bistro and our good friends Jeff and Judy all the way up on PEI in Charlottetown. I saw them post up the other day for the hockey playoffs. Can't remember what day it was. Saturday or Sunday. I don't even know what today is. Today's, Tuesday. I'm losing track. Yes, they made a calzone, I believe. It looked really good. So it is the Ultimate Outdoor Oven. You can use it in-house and or on the fly, mobile, anywhere you have a heat source. It works out very well, especially in the world's largest duck boat. It works out very well. So duckblindbistro.com. Guys, thank you very much. We appreciate your support. And they are going to be here late October to shoot some sea ducks right here in Maryland. So up next, a product that I use often. I have recently moved it out of the carving shop, especially when I was painting on the, actually installing eye bolts, drilling holes, and painting. I had to run some more screws through it. Again, the platform was kind of I won't say a prototype, but I wasn't 100% sure it was exactly the way that we wanted it. It was, so went ahead and ran a bunch more screws through it, shored it up, painted it. But where I'm trying to go with this story is I moved, and again, it's not their tagline, but it should be. It is the world's best Bluetooth audio speaker. Live loud. It is Turtlebox Audio. turtleboxaudio.com. And again, I have moved it out of the carving room and into the shop. Listen to a bunch of podcasts. Lone Duck Dog Chronicles. I kind of caught up on everything Bob Owen was doing, and Bob and Kevin Owen were doing. And, got the paint done. And I listened, got the platform 100% done. And again, my point in all this is I enjoyed the Turtle Box. Live loud. To me, it's the ultimate outdoor, indoor Bluetooth speaker. turtleboxaudio.com. Thank you guys very much. Lastly, but not least, and I did enjoy it, as I mentioned earlier in my little diatribe here, dirtyduckcoffee.com. I enjoyed some of the Pitboss. Sorry for the text messages. It is the Pitboss Duck Boat Dark. Karen and I love that. If you don't remember the story or have not heard this before, we were very anxious. Karen, she's not there. I can't ask her. But my humor. We were very anxious about what we were going to choose, the roast, the blend of the roast, because we wanted it to be a coffee that we really enjoyed, but we like things that are maybe a little darker and stronger than, I don't know what average is, but it's definitely, if there's a scale from light is on the left and dark is on the right, is definitely, all right, I'm going to edit that out. That didn't quite sound right. So let me try again. It's definitely hard. Hard to the right side. How about that? How about this? This is even better. Far, F-A-R, to the right side. Dirty Duck Coffee. It is the Pitboss Duck Boat Dark. We like the French roast. We really like all their coffees, but I guess the top three would be the Duck Boat Dark, French roast, and or cinnamon teal, flip-flop back and forth. All very good coffees. Check them out. Duck Boat Dark is not in K-Cups, but now they offer many of their roast in K-Cups. So check them out at dirtyduckcoffee.com. Thank you very much. So Whale of Wagon Tails is on hold right now just because I'm going to get into that. Karen she's left. She has left. And once again, I am in domestic shock. So Whaleville Wagon Tails, although maybe next week I might have a small, I don't know, with my domestic shock though, my dysmexic. I always try to put two words together. I think that's the definition of dyslexia, isn't it? Or just simpletonness. I don't know. I may try to run a little bit of Whaleyville Wagon Tails with a single dog next week, but in the current state, and Karen, said probably not the best idea, and I'll probably going to agree with her at least within the first 24 hours of her not being here. So, and of course, Pitboss Waterfowl. So let's get into this. I am solo. Been solo for almost 24 hours now. No, about 23 hours. Been solo for 23 hours now. Karen is making her way to the Gold Coast, specifically New South Wales, Kingscliff, Tweeds Head, right at the state line. The state above them would be Queensland and New South Wales. Excuse me. Blech. This is tough doing it by myself without Karen here. So she can correct me. I'm going to correct myself. Kingscliff is in New South Wales. So anyway, she's on her way. At this moment, I think she's still three hours from hitting the Gold Coast, Coolangatta via Auckland, New Zealand. So I think she's still about 3 hours away from Auckland. It's a hateful trip. It is a hateful trip. It's a long flight over the Pacific Ocean. But it's going to take, I think the last time that we did it, I should say, it took us about 32 hours. I think Karen had it calculated out. It's going to be about 36 hours for her to get there. It's not all that 36 hours, 32 hours, 30 plus hours is not all in air, but definitely all the travel time. Again, she went Dallas to Auckland, but Uh-oh. There goes the dogs. Hopefully the pups inside will not be disturbed by this noise. And it looks like we're okay. That Dallas to Sydney flight is 17 hours. And I was telling somebody yesterday. Can't remember who it was. Oh, yeah. I was in Cheers. Yesterday. Yep. Midday. And I told them, I was like, it's a long flight. First off, alcohol's free on international flight. Thumbs up on that. And it's a long flight when you've watched 3 movies, 4 movies, you've slept a little bit, and you wake up and you say, we're there, right? And they're like, nah, we still got about 8 hours to go. So that 17 hours it's a hateful. Well, is it hateful? It's long. How about that? I do have to say that the 320 Airbus that we've often flown in, it really don't feel like you're flying. Excuse me about that. You really don't feel like you're flying. That is the official Pitboss ringtone, and if you like that ringtone, you can get it on iTunes. So, just a little. I don't get any money from it at all. It goes to somebody else, but it is the official Pitboss ringtone on iTunes. Yes, hateful. I don't know. It's a long flight, and that if there's any hate, that's where it's going to come from. Is the timeline, the length of time you're in the air. But the actual plane itself is nice. It's a double decker. It's big. You look at the thing sitting there before you get on. You're like, how's this thing get in the air? She's big. It's got a couple cameras on it, so you can look from the tail. Once you're up in the air, not that exciting, but definitely takeoff and landing is pretty cool. You can sit there right in front of you and choose which camera you want to watch to see what's going on outside. But it's just a long flight, and you lose a day going over because you cross the international date line. And, just in all total, what's this person going to do? What? Oh, man, I really do need to get the freaking tennis ball launcher. We have 2 signs up. Actually, there's 4 signs, 2 on each side. And that person just used our driveway as a U-turn turnaround. I'm going to try not to be angry. Trying not to let you know how hateful I am. Certain things happen. But, and tennis balls hitting a car wouldn't be bad, right? Oh, my Lanta. Here, you know what? This is what I should have did from the beginning. This is not my first time doing this. Except I forget to turn the ringer back on later on. But there, ringer's off, so the phone's good. The hate is not going to come out of me right now. But if a tennis ball hits your car, that's not the worst thing, right? But it definitely would let somebody know, get the fuck out of here. How about this? I've went out in the driveway and done worse things than a tennis ball. How about that? I'm not going to say any more on that one. If Karen was here, she'd probably tell me to shut up. So I'm going to move on. The 320 Airbus is a very nice plane. But again, it's just a long flight, and it's a long journey. Again, here I'm back. I reeled myself back in. You lose a day when you cross the international date line, and you just, even though you got some sleep, it's not been the best sleep. And or maybe, in my case, alcohol-induced sleep. Although I sleep pretty good. I can sleep anywhere. But maybe I get a little anxious that we're not there yet. So, all right, regardless. Domestic shock. I text someone this morning. I give Karen credit. I think I give Karen credit all the time. But I can tell you just in 23 hours, I believe that I don't give credit enough credit to where credit is due. And I definitely need to amp up the amount of credit that I give Karen for running this show here and or taking pressure off me. Probably. If it's not pressure, obligation or duty off of me. And I have to say, a little bit of a crash course yesterday. Just having to, and we do maybe have too many dogs here at the moment. But we're only going to lose one more. So maybe, no, it's not a bad decision. But solo, that's the way I'm going to frame this up. Solo by myself and not being in tune with the way Karen is in tune with animals. And she's done this from the get-go, just like I never give. And I'll say, not that I can't, but I never give the big dogs anything in the morning. She always takes care of that. I don't have it with me, but she has a very typed out on the computer, all special instructions, idiot-proof. But I've never done it before. So right there, I'm in a little bit of domestic shock. Let me rewind just 1 second. So Karen is not on the 320 Airbus, but she's on Air New Zealand. And luckily she has pretty good, I think through Starlink, she has very good internet. Pictures don't come through, videos don't come through, but texts do. So we've been kind of texting. I want to wake her up, but she texted me, 6:30 my time this morning. And where am I going with this? She got a special, she found this Flu Economy, but they had this plan. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by Duke. On the 320 Airbus, if you don't know, it's a window, 3 seats, an aisle, 4 seats across, another aisle, 3 seats in a window. So what's that, 7, right? And generally, typically, Qantas does a great job of making you comfortable. So we've only ever flown once out of the 6 times, I guess, that flight was full, and I believe it was coming back, not going over, if my memory serves me right. But anyway, where I'm trying to go with this is the Qantas does the best job they can. Hats off to them that they spread you out, separate you, so that you can have a couple seats to yourself, so that you, flying economy, that you can try to be, as comfortable as can be. Karen did not want to, first of all, very anxious about the trip, which, she's going to visit her mom. We get older each day, and just a product of that, we have not been over COVID. The COVID March, April is when we would have went in 2020, and we have not got us out of our cycle. That was every 2 years we were going. So she hasn't been over since 2020. No, she hasn't been over since 18. So how many every years is that? 5 years? Yeah, I'll say 5 years over. So, 5 years older, health changes, things change, and living, how do I put this? Arrangement sounds weird, or is not the right way to talk about it. Conditions, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, basically, things have just changed. Karen needs to go home. And with our state of the state here at PBHQ, we really couldn't pull it off that I could go to. So she needs to go over and do it. Take care of what she needs to take care of. When I say that, nothing bad, but she just hasn't been in there for over 5 years. So anyway, very anxious, which I get it. I've rambled too much probably about how long that flight is. But she did find something on Air New Zealand where flying economy, and I don't know how much more it was, but basically she was guaranteed to have those 3 window to the aisle, 3 seats by herself that she could lay down. So I'm thankful she got that. And she said she's thankful that she got it, and of course I am too. So, anything to ease that anxiousness. I can't say pain, but ease that anxiousness about flying that way. So, all right, back to the domestic shock. Yeah, I just need to really step up and step up my amount of credit that I give Karen. So credit. Yes, Karen, thank you. Anyone that's listening, hats off to Karen, because she does evidently deflect, take care of things that obviously very evident to me this morning. Well, it wasn't obvious to you, but it's very obvious to me, is that stuff that I don't do daily. So again, that's kind of my little bit of a quick learning curve that I'm on, and I'm a big boy, old man really now, right? Can't call myself a boy anymore. But yeah, it'll be better this evening, just because I've got 24 hours under my belt. I will say this: fed the pups late, probably later than what Karen would. Like 10. I was finishing the Since Jeff and Judy left, I've really I'm going to stop. I used to be really into hockey through the late 90s. I went to a Capitals game. I told Nick this last week. I feel like I've told this already. Well, I'm sorry. You're going to hear it again. Went to a Capitals game way back in the day, the old Cap Center, Landover. Yeah, I guess it was the Cap Center in Landover. Kind of a weird-shaped building right on the Beltway there. And the older, in a different lifetime, the older urban cable company actually gave you Home Team Sports, which got you the Orioles games, and it got you the Capitals games. So, man, I just went. I guess I was kind of into it anyway. Definitely playoffs. Playoff hockey I always loved. But regular season stuff, man, I started after that one game live, and then tuned in Home Team Sports, and I watched it basically all the time. So kind of cycle through that. I got out of it a little bit, again, and that was a different lifetime ago. But with Jeff and Judy here wanting to watch the first round, Jeff was for the Bruins and Judy was for as Karen called them, the Cloverleafs. But no offense to anyone from Ontario, the Maple Leafs. No offense to Judy. But it was kind of funny. She called them. She couldn't remember, so she called them the Cloverleafs. But yes, I've been watching that, and you don't need to hear me coughing. Yes, I did watch the game last night into the second period. And yeah, where am I going with the story? I fed the dogs late. That's what I'm trying to say. Bruins did win 5-1. I saw 3-1, and the Bruins won 5-1. Somebody was at my feet. It felt like a puppy, but it was actually Scudder. But yes, where I'm trying to go with this, I will get back on track and say that I fed the pups late, and they were up. They went right to bed, put them in their kennels. Quote, crate training. That's where I guess I flip-flop on the word, is it a crate or a kennel? But we are crate training them in a kennel. And thankfully, the way we designed this, and kind of was the plan all the time anyway, with dogs, we have a slider off of our bedroom, so they are lined up in our room, kind of painted, kind of pointed and facing the slider. Again, all the stuff that Karen does, she has a neat little paddock. Yeah, a mini paddock fence set up out there. So in the dark, they don't have free reign of the big fenced yard. They're just in this little area, so we don't lose track of them. But yeah, 3:20ish, let everybody out. A little bit vocal going back in, but no problems. And then 6 o'clock, Proof is the one, the big Proof man. He is the one that wants to come out first. So as soon as it's halfway bright out, he's letting you know, hey, I want to get out. So 6 o'clock-ish, let everybody back out, and henceforth my domestic shock. Just haven't done it all, but I'm going to get through it, and it's not a problem. But I did have to mention it. So again, Karen. If you're not watching on YouTube, yes, I'm bowing to Karen. Thank you. I love you, and truly I appreciate all that you do. I hope and wish the best for you in your trip to Australia. So, side note, Australia, oh man, if you've never been, that's probably, if you like to travel, although I just did bitch about the flight, I'll say this, the first time you do it, and I had no idea what was going on, man, it's a rush, it's a high, it's fun. Karen's done it many different times, so she didn't quite have that same experience, but I did the very first time. Oh man, this is badass. We're flying across the Pacific Ocean for 17 hours, and it's just a great experience. I've never was on a jet plane that big, and it's a great experience. What I'm trying to say is, if you've never been to Australia, I would strongly suggest you go. I'm looking forward to go back, but I guess after the text this morning, we're going to go better than economy. So I don't know exactly to what level, but we're not flying economy. Karen says so. 1 second here. My diet do. Yes. Feels good. Geoff, it's flowing through me today. That's why. That's why I keep just freaking rambling. I'm maybe talking faster than what I normally do. Maybe this is always the speed I talk. I don't know. But yes, it's definitely, my left foot is just bouncing with my flip-flops on, because it's flowing through me, and I'm just, the energy is flowing through me. Nothing else. Geoff says when things flow through him, it means something different to him than it would or does to me. So when I say flowing through, it just means that that adrenaline, the energy, the excitement is high. The level is high. So where am I at? If you ever get a chance to go to Australia, do it. I could live there in a heartbeat. I'm not sure. Well, first off, it would be a pain in the ass to get the dogs there, evidently. Not evidently would be, but can be done if we did move. Our dollar is awesome there, so we would go over being worth more than what we are here. I guess it's relative, though. But anyway, that's a topic for another discussion. A topic for another discussion, or a topic for another day, or a discussion for another day. However it is, we can talk about that later. Really, when Karen and Jeff get all three of them, because Jeff and Judy and Paulie and everybody north of the border, Damien, they all deal with the difference between the U.S. dollar and the Canadian dollar. Same difference, U.S. dollar to Australian dollar. So I just don't know what I would do there for work. I guess there is some duck hunting in the southeast corner. So you got to remember too, going into summertime here, they're going into wintertime there, and vice versa. Northern hemisphere versus the southern hemisphere. So yes, I don't know what I would do there, but beautiful place, and I do look forward to getting back. So Karen might not be that excited as far as the trip goes, but I really hope that she enjoys seeing her mom, seeing her family, and seeing Australia. So, all right. This is episode 42 of the new format, so I want to I want to thank everyone who does follow along with us. Thank you very much. That's my first thank you. The second thank you is for all the birthday wishes we had we had, Karen's part of what I do, but I had last week, so appreciate everyone reaching out. Do I feel older? Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Let me finish that thought. Do I feel older? Not really. Had those back shots this past, a week ago tomorrow? No, a week ago today. Is it Tuesday? A week ago today. Had the lumbar disc injections. I don't know. Mixed on that, whether it's really, sometimes I feel great. Other times I feel exactly like I felt, 3 months ago, 6 months ago kind of thing. So anyway, Karen gets back so she can drive me, go back in for my second set of those shots. But yeah, do I feel older? I guess I do. I don't really think of myself as being older. I don't think I can relate to being an 18-year-old. When I was in my 30s and 40s, I'd be like, hey, man, high school was just like not that long ago. Well, now it does. It is a while ago. But I still don't. Maybe age is just a number, like everybody tells me. But at the same time, it is kind of relative to just how you think about it. And the pups. I'm trying to make a segue into puppies. Is where I'm trying to go with this. And how many puppies? If you don't know, how many puppies we have decided to keep, that we are keeping, that hopefully. It looks like everybody's still sleeping. So they play super, super hard. Fed them first thing this morning. Play super, super hard. Oh, what time do I feed them again? See, this is the things I don't do all the time. And I don't have my list with me, but I think 11 o'clock I'm supposed to. Yeah, I think I'm all right. As soon as I get this done, I need to feed them again. They're okay right now. Really. So let's rewind. I don't know. What do you think? If you've had a lab, if you had multiple labs, how old did they live? In our case, all 5 prior black dogs that I had. I think I've told the story before, but I'll say it again. Karen knew me way back in the day because she managed Hickory Veterinary Hospital. She's a registered vet tech, but she also managed the hospital. And I brought all the dogs in there, even before I had puppies. Coot and Diamond always went in there. So Coot will be my first. She was a female, if you don't know, but she will be my first official dog, my first official black dog. We need to get Roy Scahill on sometime too. I would like to talk to Roy about. Roy's who I got got Coot from way back in the day. There's a lot of stuff I remember, and there's a couple things I can't remember. Like, I don't really know how did I know about his litter. That's the one thing. Roy, if you're listening, I don't know if you listen to this or not, but and/or just need to catch up. I would really like to know how, if you can recall, how did I know about your litter? Yeah, it's one thing my mind I think is usually pretty good. I can't remember that. But anyway, black dogs. Coot was the first one. Where am I going with this? Yes. Sadly, Karen put them all down. Since we've been together, she put them all down. And really, everybody lived like to their potential, to their maximum age, I believe. When I say maximum, yeah. Maximum, is that a good way to put it? I don't know. I can't say optimum. Probably maximum. Optimum would be, anyway, what I'm trying to say is everybody lived in lab years. I think that they lived a very long life. They were 12 plus years old. The Diamond dog, no, not Diamond, excuse me, Bristol. The Bristol dog, she was the only one that was a little, she left us earlier than what she should have, where she was in that eight-ish, 8 plus, not 9 years old kind of thing. But where I'm trying to go with this is everybody lived at least 12 years. And it hit me when I don't know, one morning, maybe we were still sleeping by the whelping box. Maybe it didn't. That wasn't the right time. But anyway, regardless, it hit me somewhere along the way, 3 or 4 weeks old, that when these guys are 12 years old, if they live that long, which I'm going to assume that a puppy should, a lab should live at least 12 years old. Maybe not. Some people say, 10 years old. But I'm going to say 12. Let's use 12 for my example and my mindset. I think 12 years old, and I was kind of shocked at what my age will be. So that said, much like Karen's mom would tell us, kids, do what you want to do today, because when you get older, you're not going to be able, maybe you won't be able to do it. So do what you want to do now. Do it today. And I've always said, if someday, you keep saying someday I want to do this and someday I want to do that, if you don't do it, someday never gets here. So life is short. If you want to take one thing from this, I'm going to say do it now. And that's the approach that we took with these puppies. We kept 3. I'm holding up all my fingers because we had 9 dogs, but we ended up keeping 3. We have the mash dog, who is the female. That was the only reason, not the only reason, the main reason that we bred Rye to Ranger Danger. And then amongst all this, Karen became attached. And if you followed along, Mash still is the red collar. They don't have collars on, but she's the red collar dog. Through this process, the purple collar, and a little side note, the red collar, just by chance, Scoter's at my feet. Scoter was the red collar dog, and when we got her at 8 weeks old, and when we picked out the Rye dog, she had a purple collar on. Maybe fate, whatever it is, but anyway, the proof man was the purple collar, or is the purple collar. Exactly, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But anyway, he had the purple collar when he was a puppy. And he endeared himself to Karen. So Karen says she, right early on in that 3 weeks, 4 weeks, she's like, man, I really like this dog. Kind of reminded us of the old Boogman, our Booger dog. He's going to be big. He's the biggest of the 4 of them right now. I don't know if he's going to be the biggest of the litter, at the end of it all, but he's definitely big, bigger than everybody else here. And he retrieves, yes, but he kind of has that, okay, I'm tired now, I'm going to go lay down. And Karen, the joke is that Karen says he's laying down, he's got to go grow. So maybe he does. And kind of Bristol was like that. Bristol was an odd puppy, like no energy puppy. As a puppy, as a young dog, and she was full of piss and vinegar, want to kill things, chew things, rabbits. Oh my goodness, the stories about the bunnies that a couple of them she devoured. The one time, the funniest thing was I came in, there's just literally was just an ear sticking out of her mouth. I was freaking out, and Karen's like, don't worry, she can dissolve the bones. All right, anyway, So we had the proof man. And Mash did hurt her foot, but she's really doing well. So that's a bright side. Now, it's yet to be seen, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, how the break in around some growth plates is going to affect her. So we have to that's another whole story in which Karen would be the best to explain it. So I'm not going to get into that. Maybe for the next time, whenever she's with me, which hopefully is not that long. Well, it's not going to be because she's, 2 weeks and she'll be back. But yes, we're not sure about how the growth plates are. But anyway, where I'm trying to go with this, the last one came out, Pinky, although he's a male, he ended up with a pink collar on, so we called him Pinky. And he was always littler. He was the runt, on and on and on. And Karen's like, oh, man. And I even did a couple of videos where I'm holding him. I was like, how can we let this guy go? Well, Pinky is going to leave us. But the yellow collar, Elmer T, for Elmer Tandy Lee Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. But Elmer T, he is a beast, man. He is a retrieving machine. This could all change 6 months from now. But just had a super good feeling about it. And Karen knows what my goals are with these puppies. And we're going to train them. And I want to run hunt tests. I'd like to have an all-age dog in my life still. As my years become shorter, I would still like to very much have an all-age dog. And I just want a couple chances of a breeding that we did, and I like to have multiple chances to have this happen. So that's how we ended up keeping 3. And truthfully, as I look around here, that part of the concept of PBHQ, Pitboss World Headquarters, and this barn dominium style home and shop that we have, this was supposed to be and was going to be right from the get-go all about dogs. So that's what we got. This is all about dogs. So we're going to end up, as this cycles through, when Karen gets back, although Pinky will be close to us, he is going to go to a new home, but we'll see him often. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Much like other pups, we get to see them, from time to time. But we're going to cycle through it. We'll have five black dogs and a buller. I'm sorry, a boxer American bully. I don't make this stuff up. I really don't. It's just I think it's because of my dyslexia. Dyslexic tendencies. How about that? If I'm not dyslexic, I have tendencies of dyslexia. I just can't speak. It was never a good thing, reading out loud. Oh, that's somebody way up in the sky. They're doing that, making a hard turn. Hated reading aloud. Just always very self-conscious about that. And, I guess that maybe is how I speak today because all that, I don't know. Who knows? But yes. Stop. Duke. He's got a huge bump. I can see it right now. He's got a huge bump. We got to get it debulked. Just to make him it just can't. If it ruptures, it's going to be nasty. So it's not really to fix it. You have to amputate his leg. It's already been debulked once. You have to amputate his front leg. First off, I'm not cutting a dog's leg off, and I think Karen, that's not sitting to my left, would strongly agree with me on that. Number 2, even if you would, he's got some ACL problems in his rear legs, so his rear legs are not the best. So now you're asking him to walk around 3-legged where his back 2 legs are not in good shape. We're just not going to put him through it. We want him to have quality of life is important to us with our dogs. And you could say, hey, well, getting that tumor cutting his leg off, that to us is not quality of life. This thing likes to run, he likes to spin, and we're not cutting his leg off. He's almost, I think 2 months he'll be 10 years old. And like I was just talking about with the labs, how long they live. I mean, he does, he's got cancer. So Karen can tell you exactly what it is. And we want the best for him. We want him to live as long as he can. But the reality is he's not, none of us are going to live forever, right? So we're just see if we can get that bump is on his left lower leg, get it debulked, get it a little bit smaller. Not that it's really bugging him, but it's gonna split the skin, man. It's like, especially like in the last 3 months, I think it just looks like it's gotten huge. Anyway, it's sad. That's the worst part about a dog. When you get a pup, I don't know that anybody thinks about the end, right? That's the suckiest part of dog ownership. And I always say that dogs get way too old, way too fast. And Duke's a rescue. We've had it since he was 2, and we've given the best life that we can. And he's gotten, my goodness, some of the stuff that he's done along the way. Probably when I say, to our property, to Karen's dog Bo. He's an aggressive dog, and probably, he shouldn't be here right now, but he is. So, regardless, where I'm trying to go with this is he's not going to be with us forever, and things are going to cycle through. Sounds, maybe it's not the best way to put it, but it's the truth. So, and you just don't know. God, I want Ryan Scoter. You don't want them to live as long as they can too, but you just don't know. So anyway, I'm rambling. We kept 3 puppies. It's crazy. Whatever, you can say what you like, but that's kind of what, that's who we are, and that's the way that it is. So we're going to give it our best shot and see what we can do as far as getting them trained up. And again, I'd still really like to have an all-age dog one day here. So I don't know how. We'll see how it goes. Maybe an all-age dog is not in my future. I don't know. I've had one in my lifetime. So coot salute. All right. Speaking of dogs, Scoter, she's doing well. Got her entered. I think I mentioned it a little bit with Gunner Kennels there earlier. Got her entered this Saturday for her. It'll be her second junior. I think that she'll do well. You never can say always, and you can never say never and all that kind of stuff. But she's training really well. She's doing stuff that, as far as marks go, I would think are definitely far above being junior marks. So lots of in and outs on water, and she's doing really, really well. I'm excited about seeing what she does on Saturday. And then the following Saturday, yesterday was the cutoff. Entered her in the junior early in the day, so that'll be her 3rd junior. And for nothing else, and the dog people, if there's any dog people out there listening, you can give me grief. And I listen to a lot of podcasts, dog related, and watch a lot of YouTube videos dog related. And probably what I'm doing is maybe frowned upon because she's way back in the day. Specifically, Richard Barnes would tell you, hey, man, like overtrain. I basically trained all age marks daily. All white coat stuff, all age marks, and blinds. And, Coot had no trouble running a master hunter. Now, I can't remember in my mind, well, obviously in my mind, but I just can't remember those master tests that I ran with her. Were they what master tests are today? And maybe it's apples and oranges. Maybe trends and things have changed up. The junior tests I've done have been, and I guess it's junior dogs. It is entry level, but I was going to say is rudimentary. Is that a good word to use? Elementary, very low level. I'm not trying to degrade anybody or insult anybody, but they're simple. The junior tests that we've ran with Rye and Scoter, so far, they've been, and I hope this doesn't bite me, but they've been pretty simple. I did not run the double in Virginia, but evidently it was a double, junior, double, senior over the week, and a double master over the weekend. That on 2 of the water series, there was a mark that was 10 yards or less on water, and that's why that's what I was kind of expecting to get, and I hadn't really trained Scoter in water that much, time wise too. Just the way coming out of the season, winter, that whole timeline with weather on the calendar. But at the same time, I was kind of counting on, and you can never assume, but I was going to assume that that's the kind of stuff I was going to get. And the one watermark that she saw was not that. So it was that in and out kind of thing. not two in and outs, but that she had to get out of water, and she hadn't done that before. So anyway, we've really been working on that a good bit. Where I'm trying to go with this, I entered her in senior. So I don't know that she's ready to do this. I was telling you, yes, that, Richard Barnes say, hey, man, overtrain, and then when you go there, you're going to be fine. And have I overtrained? She's not running she's not ready to run master. Some of the concepts and some of the marks that she's done, or would they be considered to master level? Sure. She's not. Maybe she doesn't do the triple, but she does them as singles, or does them as a double. But they're big marks. So anyway, regardless, I'm using $100. I'm going to, at the very least, I'm donating $100 to the club, the Susquehanna Retriever Club, in 2 Saturdays, because I'm going to walk to the line as a senior dog with her, and I just really want to see. I'm going to use it as a barometer. That's really where I tried to say. I'm going to use it as a barometer and see where she's at. You can get up here. Come on. She loves getting up in these chairs. You going to get up or not? A lot of times she don't like it that they spin. I hold the chair as she gets up, but I'm not going to lean over there and do that now. But yes, I'm going to use the senior test as a barometer. And Karen was like, Philly Airport, and even last night had till midnight to enter. And she's like, enter. It was about 10:45 or so, and laying there trying to do it on my phone as I was texting with her. But I did enter her in the senior. There was only 3 senior dogs forever. I think there's 30. It ended up being 33 dogs in junior, and there was only three or four dogs in senior. And at the end, it kind of bumped up. But there's 13 total. She's one of them. So I don't want to waste anybody's time, but I just want to see where she's at, and that's the reason I entered in the senior. And later today, here, come on, get up in there. There you go. Come on. There she goes. She's up. Karen did later today. I have things planned. We're gonna do some dog training, and Karen did ask me amongst my domestic duties today, did I have anything else planned? I said yes, Karen. I have a podcast. Get that done. I said. Secondly, I said we're gonna go run a simple water blind with Scoter, so we got that going on. What was the other part? I need to make a Home Depot run. Oh, I'm going to start working with the puppies. Before she left, I got the force fetch table rearranged. Got it not being a storage unit, and we moved it, so I'm going to get the puppies on there and start working with them. Not force fetching them, but get them up in the air and just, kind of, it's 8 feet long, so, here, sit, do a little treat training with them. Just get them, if for nothing else, get them out in the shop and get them up on the table. Just get them used to that. So when we really do it, in 4 months for real and start hold and force fetching, that, it's not going to be something. They're going to be used to the table. So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to go. So, Scoter, I'm excited about doing it. We'll see. I do want to thank Christian Ricker. Thank you very much. He's really helped us out here in the past couple of weeks. Danny Callahan, thank you very much. Larry Heineman, thank you. And David Alders. And more. And many other people that show up for the training groups, but specifically like to mention those 4 names. So, and yes, I'm still going to do decoys today. So I'm not going to be, with Karen not here, I don't think I'm going to be as in tune to what time it is, I think. So what am I trying to say? I think I'll be out in the shop later today. Later today, yes, but later into the afternoon and evening than what I normally would be if she's here. Still need to make sure the pups are good to go, though. But yes, I am going to do decoys today. So, oh, my Lanta. This has been podcast number 42 of the new format. So I do appreciate you following along. Thank you very much. Karen, appreciate you following along. Thank you very much. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you could, right down below, here I guess it is, on this side, if you could give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever you'd like. If you give us a thumbs up and you're not subscribed, please do subscribe and hit that button. I do have to say, within 24 hours, Nick's Cedar Swamp gunning decoys, Nick Castiglione on YouTube. His podcast is done in 24 hours. Is done really, really well. I have to say better than probably maybe the last 2 months worth or 3 months worth. So we'll see where that one tops out. But I think it was already over 250 views within less than 24 hours. So, little bird coming through. Where am I at? Yes. YouTube. If do all this stuff if you're watching on YouTube, please. If you'd like to leave a comment down below, thank you very much. Do so. I will try to end. Not try to. I do. Yeah, I can say I do answer. The ones. How about this? The ones I want to answer, I definitely make sure I answer. How about that? You can read it between the lines on that one. If you listen to any other of the audio platforms, we appreciate you following along there too. So. That's all I got. This is the Pitboss Podcast, episode number 42. Brought to you by our good friends at Molly's Place Sporting Goods, mymolly's.com. Dirty Duck Coffee, dirtyduckcoffee.com. Turtlebox Audio, turtleboxaudio.com. Duck Blind Bistro, duckblindbistro.com. Duckwater Boats, duckwaterboats.com. Gunner Kennels, gunner.com. And lastly but not least, but as far as this list goes, crabs to go, crabstogo.com. And then we get into Whaleyville Wagon Tails, whaleyvillewagontails.com. And lastly but not least, Pitboss Waterfowl. If you'd like to come sea duck hunting with us right here in Maryland, there are 6 days remaining open for us in the 24-25 season. And in the 2025-26 season, you can pretty much have your pick of the 60 days. I think there's 3 days in their book so far. So, I appreciate you following along. Thank you very much. Hope things are all good and well. And Karen, thinking of you, we are. I love you. And have fun in Australia. As always, thinking of you, we are.